I wanted to show everyone how you can emboss with stencils too. So this is the stencil. So it's a gorgeous design, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray over the back of it so that it will hold in place. So we'll get Brenda back out and I'll give it a little bit of a spray. So if I put it face down, you only need a tiny little bit on here because we're literally just holding it in place. Now the difference is this time I'm using the repositionable spray because we just want to hold it and we do want to release it off. Now if you were to not use a spray, that's absolutely, well, not use a spray, you would not hold it down, that's fine. However, can you see it wants to move because it's such a fine stencil. So I'm going to hold that in place. Now when you're embossing it, right, here is, let me get my embossing mat. You're going to do it in your Gemini machine. Here's what you need to do. You need to put the embossing mat underneath because what it's going to do is it's going to push that cardstock through. So your sandwich combination you want your base plate, you want your embossing mat pushing it right through, okay? I think what I'll do is I will put another piece of cardstock on top. No, I won't need to. I was going to just to kind of protect the surface in case this has got any indentations on, but as long as you take your, let's have a look, just make sure it's nice and clean. Shouldn't need to. Don't put your magnetic on. I was just about to do that there. Don't do that. Remember the rule, you don't have your magnetic. Well, the rule is you don't have your magnetic and your embossing mat in at the same time. That's only if you've got dies in. Let's pop it in. Let's pop it in, give it a bit of extra whammy. If it's too thick, it's always just going to return it out. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, it's going to take it. This is going to be a deep emboss. This is going to be a deep emboss. It's taken it. Sometimes if you put too much pressure through, it can interfere with your, can you see how it's pushed my embossing mat right out there? That's quite normal, but we've got a lovely deep emboss. So can you see there on the back how deeply that's embossed? I think you should be able, if I twist it round to the light on the cloth, can you see there just how deep it's embossed? There you can, right? So it's embossed really deep. So probably learn from me, don't add the magnetic plate in. You'll be able to manage without. But what I am going to do, Jo, is I've got 3 colours of my ink pads now. I've got 3 shades of the blue. I'm going to start around the star and around the Bethlehem scene and just add a little bit of that blue in and build it all up as we're going.
What ink pads are you using here, Sarah?
Right, so these are the water reactives, Jo, because what you do, and I'm probably, you see I went straight from the ink pad over here. What you should do is really, you know when I normally put it onto the base, so I put it onto the glass mat and then take it off. That's what I usually do. So we're a little bit heavier than I would like to be around the edges, but look at that. I can do, oh crikey, I've got loads in there. So we're just going to have to go very, very deep around some of the edges there. But luckily they are water reactive, so they will blend out. Now I'm starting to knock that stencil off. So before I bring it off, what I'm going to do is, and we're going to go back into Brenda, and I'm going to get out one of your favourite products, Jo.
What's that? Oh,
he knows
word.
What's coming.
Is it the spray and sparkle?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yep. Guys, if you don't have this, if you're able to get hold of the spray and sparkle, get across to the website. You just need it in your life. You can just make everything sparkly. I mean, what could be better? What could be better? Just
little bits. So I've got the gold one here to hand. Just little bits. Let's knock you a little bit further back in, Brenda. Short, sharp bursts. And of course, the stencil is going to stencil and leave me a gap in that little piece as well. So short, sharp burst is all it needs. You will need to clean your stencil afterwards. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to use mine and I'm going to use like a little baby wipe on there as well. So can you see after I lift this off, you get that lovely stenciled background, but we are going to it's going to be like stenciled and embossed, so very, very tactile. So I'll trim that down ready, Jo. And it's going to be ready because obviously you've got the right size stencil so that we can just perfectly size it. No, just want to make sure I trim all these bits off the edge so that we get with just the white piece around the edge. Really right, lovely. I'm quite pleased with how that's turned out there, Jo, and you can see that gorgeous spray and sparkle on there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount that onto the front of my card, but I feel like the star needs raising up a little bit. Well, what you'll find is that is exactly the same star as the one that we've got in this piece collection. Right, so those of you who've been watching and thinking, I got this from HSN and I don't need the extra dies, trust me when I say you absolutely do. I'm going to get all of these. I'm going to cut some of the piece out as well. So I'm going to cut these out. Now these will all fit through your Gemini Mini. So if you want to do quick and easy cuts, you can. But actually what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut all 3 at once on my Gemini sheet here.
I love the font on this piece there, especially the bolder one, Sara. It's just so beautiful, isn't it?
It's really lovely. And I've taken my time putting these together because I want to show you how these go together. So you see, you take the P, and then we've got the P here that we've cut into the glitter card. And then this, to be honest, spraying them or putting them with the Xyron is probably going to be best. I'm just going to pop a little bit of tape on just to kind of show you. And then that will go right in the middle of the P here. And how fabulous does that look? And actually, I've already done all the letters for peace so that I can use them straight onto the card. So I'm going to use them there, and I'm going to use a little bit of 3D glue gel, I think, Jo, to stand them up. So they're all raised up. I did use my Xyron on mine. How great does that look? The star on top of the stencil piece, and that looks fab. I know it's easy for me to say that looks fab. Like I said, I took inspiration from one of our designers' cards. This is what you need to do, guys. You need to go, we've got all the cards, they're on Pinterest. You can go and look through them all. Facebook, we share all the ideas. Save them down. Best thing you can do is start your own Pinterest account and go and add all the cards that you want to make to your own Pinterest account. Then you can go and find them later and make them. Just search in Pinterest for Nativity, Nature's Garden Nativity, and you'll see all of our designers' cards will be listed up there. Or you can go and follow the Crafters Companion boards and you'll find our nativity board for that. And then I literally just look through thinking, what can I make on the show? Oh, I know what, I'll have a look and get some ideas from the other designers. I think they're amazing.